Commercial first.
Sure, I smoked weed when I was young. It was how we rebelled against the man, and it was fun. Then life changed. Family, responsibilities, and breaking the law didn't seem like such a good idea. Now it's legal, the medical benefits are widely known, but it's all mass produced. Just not my style. Then I discovered Elevated by Claudine. Elevated by Claudine, a locally owned, female owned, alternative medicine practitioner in the Union Crossing Shopping Center in Glendale. Elevated by Claudine is 100% unique, a CBD, mushroom, and plant medicine store on a mission. Everything is locally sourced and ethically made, where everything you purchase promotes holistic wellness. I've come to trust Elevated by Claudine as I travel my spiritual and wellness journey with the help of plant medicine, custom made just for me. Get the whole story at Elevated by Claudine, spelled CLAUDENE.com.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products. Please use these products responsibly. Must be 21 or older.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live today, and today is a really fun holiday. It is 420. It is a cannabis holiday. And today we're going to talk about the truth of 420. It started from a high school code, and now it's a global movement. So I'm here. I'm sorry, you guys, there we go. So I am Claudine, and I'm an alternative medicine practitioner, and I work in Glendale, Arizona. I own my own healing facility, and I help people transfer off of pharmaceuticals, street drugs, alcohol into plant-based medicine. I'm also a master detoxer of all kinds of stuff, not just detoxing you off of chemicals, but also detoxing you from parasites and everything else. So on our live, and this is Anne, this is my co-host, and she goes live with me twice a month. Every other Monday we go live. Tuesday for her because she's in Australia. And we just come on here and we just talk about all kinds of different things, basically just being human. We do talk about spirituality and stuff like that, and paranoia stuff, and what else do we talk about? Just all kinds of stuff, you guys.
Everything.
We talk about
everything that's in.
Yeah. We talk about indigenous. We talk about different religions. We talk about pretty much cleaning the vessel, though. That's what we're really about, because that's our spirituality. Our spirituality to us is about taking care of this vessel and this body and cleaning it the best you can and having the best, clean, healthy life you can on the outside, too. So I told you a little bit about myself, and I'm going to let Anne go ahead and tell a little bit about herself.
Hello, I am Anne. I live in Australia. I work as a waitress, actually, at a Thai restaurant. But I've been working with Claudine for like 7 years now, and I can see, read, feel, smell energy.
That was the word I was looking for. We talk a lot about energy.
Energy, yes. We are. For me, everything is energy. I do not. Sometimes I have to sit down and try and remember how I used to be in my like very human kind of way. But for me now, everything is energy. Like before in the past, I might have liked you because you were good looking, or you were cool and you said all the right. But now, if your energy is off, I don't care what you look like. I can't be around it. Like, yes, for me, energy is everything. Yes.
Do you remember the first time you heard that statement? Energy is everything.
No, I
do. I remember the first time I heard that statement, and that was quite a while ago. And I thought to myself, what does that mean? What do you mean energy is everything? Because the only energy at that time that I recognized was energy that I can measure inside of me. If I had enough energy to go to the store, if I had enough energy, to take the kids swimming or whatever, that was the only energy that I was familiar with.
Yes.
That time.
Yeah. Same. That's what I mean. Like, I have to sit down sometimes and actually try and remember how I used to be, because I've kind of like it's been like 7 years now since I've changed in how I am and how I react as a human, and everything is so energy for me. I've kind of forgotten how I used to think, and that was like you said, if it wasn't like energy to do this or energy to do that. I can't really remember, but I try and remember. But yeah, for sure. I never thought of energy as like in interactions, and I thought of it as in like, oh, how much energy do I have to do that and go clean
Mhm.
the house or wash the dishes. But yeah, energy is like, I don't see energy to me, that isn't the same definition anymore for energy. Energy is just everything. Energy is sometimes I will go to sleep and I will just be bombarded with someone's energy, and I will get dreams, and I'll just see everything into their life. Like some people have, I don't, for me, honestly, I actually haven't even quite figured out what it is and how it works, because yeah, sometimes I meet people and I will just see everything into their life. But then other people, I can't see anything. So I don't really understand what is the difference. Maybe some people are more open in their energy, that I get told
I
more things. I'm not too sure. But
I think that some people's energy is protected. They protect themselves. They put shields over themselves. So they're, and to be, you know, with gifts like this, we're not allowed to go into anyone's energy field without permission.
we're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to. We can't. It's not good because if you overstep that boundary, you're going to lose your gift.
Yeah.
So I only go to a certain extent. I'll go in, since I've learned how to do all this, and read someone's energy to a certain degree, and then I pull away, and then I ask for permission if I can go any further. And if I'm just meeting the person for the first time, like one of my kids' friends or something like that, I don't even say anything. I just you know feel the energy where I can, and then I just bow out, and then it is what it is. You know what I mean? If I need to know more or whatever, then I just have to figure that out. You know what I mean? But I will not overstep my boundaries. And I
No.
think it's actually very important that I practice that rule, because I am a practitioner. And
Yes.
and I don't even want to know anyways, to be honest with you. I help enough people.
We should never insert ourselves into someone's energy. That's just like
Mm-mm.
we're
It's a
supposed to like
no-no.
treat people accordingly, like whatever comes natural.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
I
We're
went
not
to a
supposed to.
psyche fair one time, and people were coming up to me saying all kinds of things. And I'm like, you don't got the right to do that. You have no right to come up and tell me that or say that to me. You overstepped your boundaries. So are your gifts really real? It makes you question, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Never let people come into your. But some people like it.
Yeah,
Whenever I
oh
talk to people, they're like, "Oh, can you read my energy?" I'm like, "Why?
yeah, yeah. What does my
Why do you
aura look like?
I'm like,
Ragged?
you shouldn't just want people to just read your energy, like know your energy and like take care of it. Like, don't just let people be peering into it.
Right. And another
Yeah.
thing I want to say while we're talking a little bit about energy is that energy is your number one currency. That is your number one currency that you have. So be careful where you and what you allow in your energy field.
Mhm.
So be very careful on who you're having that energy exchange with, because you do pick up parasites that way, archons.
Oh yes, and like I said, sometimes I'll meet people, and they'll be in my life, but I'll have tons of interaction, but I'll just get receive a lot of dreams about them, and it will just be continuous, and I have stopped friendships, or not even friendships. I've just stopped like having people around me where I get this kind of like effect from them in my in my energy. Like that's how much energy can affect us, is we don't even realize how much it's affecting us, and it's just like seeping into our bubble. Because I'm so sensitive, I get a lot of dreams. Like I feel things in my dreams. So like I said, I will full on see, you know, trauma stuff. Stuff is like stuff that they there's no way that I should know because it's never been spoken. No one has ever said it to me. It's secrets that are deep inside that person. And somehow I can pick up on it and see it in my dreams. So, and then it's just continuous. Like everything about this person will just keep coming at me while they're in my energy bubble and I'm having any type of interaction with them, I will just continue to get these dreams. So I've had to stop like talking to people because it's like I can't be having this like type of stuff come into my energy bubble. Like I don't want to know this stuff. I don't really care about your life. So like goodbye. But
Yeah.
that's how much energy affects us. Like sometimes we're not even wanting it to come into, and it's just seeping into our energy bubble. So that's how careful we have to be with
Oh, I'm
energy.
always protective. Well, you know that I'm always protecting
You
myself.
are.
Yeah.
You're very
All my
protective.
doors are locked all the times.
Same.
I own a business, and you ain't coming in if you don't have an appointment.
Mhm. It's true, but you have to be like that. Like
I do. I do. I have
my
to.
goal,
I have to protect myself because who else is going to do it? No one's going to protect me.
exactly.
No
Even
one's gonna
people
do it.
coming into your house and coming through your doors, like all that affects our energy. I used to,
Everything.
being a mother of a teenager, I used to have kids in and out, and my doors were always open, and my cats were always running away because, like, the doors are. And I used to have my energy was like
Scattered.
not as grounded. Like, yeah, I didn't. Whereas now, like, the doors are shut, the doors are locked, and I have so much more awareness of my own energy because I don't have this constant like people coming in and out, and it really does affect us.
You're not scattered everywhere. Yeah, it's not fun having scattered energy.
No,
But
I don't like it.
okay,
Some people like it. I don't like it.
no, I don't. I don't. I'm already a messy spiritual person. I don't need to have scattered energy already. On top of that, I don't. I really don't.
I-
I am messy.
Same. I
I
have
go
like
this way, I go
mad-
that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just all over the place sometimes with my spirituality. I just never know what I'm going to be shown that day, and how I'm going to react to it and how I'm going to absorb it. And then I got to learn how to articulate it back out to, the people that I teach. But
I know, right?
anyways, you guys,
Doesn't make sense in the spiritual realm. Doesn't always make sense on this realm.
no, they speak in metaphors for sure.
Yes.
But so today, you guys, happy 420. Yes, today is a big holiday for people like me and Anne who are huge cannabis enthusiasts. We really love our cannabis. It's our medicine. And if it's, and if we are using a little bit recreational, that's okay, especially a day like this today. I think it's okay. But I want to talk about the history of 420 and where it came from and how did this become a global holiday? And remember, you guys, I always say what happens in America, well, whatever happens in California happens in the United States. And what happens in the United States happens all over the world. And sadly, that's how we are influenced. But this talk is going to tie into how and why I say that as a great example, you guys. So again, welcome in. And today is 420. And I really wanted to come on today and talk about what this day actually represents, you guys. Because most people celebrate it, but they don't really know what it is. They don't know where it came from. And most importantly, they just do it because it's a holiday and it's a day to get, I guess, messed up.
Get high. To get high and smoke weed.
Just for no reason. People who don't even do cannabis will do it, today. So, but that's good. It's fine. Be part of the party. Why not? Be part of the celebration. It's great. So what do you guys do in Australia for 420? I'm curious.
I'm not sure. I didn't even know it was like 420 celebration. I only know because you told me. Even though
you guys don't celebrate 420? Scotland?
Yeah, they do. Like around here, no. But like I said to you, in where our like weed capital, it's called Nimbin. It's about 2 hours away from here. It's like a whole town where it's just everyone smokes pot. Like you can buy pot from anywhere. I saw videos, they were celebrating it. I told you there was like a cafe, and someone had some big like duster looking thing, and there was just like billows of smoke coming out of it. And
Oh, for a contact high?
yeah, like I think he was just putting like a big thing of pot, like just smoking everyone out with it. It was
Yeah.
I want some. I want to be at that bar. I want to be there. But yeah, so I guess they are celebrating it in Nimbin, like the whole town. Like
Right on, right on. So it did help hit Australia. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to show you how what starts in America doesn't stay in America. It spreads across the entire planet, you guys. And
yes.
yes, a lot of stuff does. This is just an example for me to discuss today. So if you ever wondered why 420 and who created it and how it became a worldwide phenomenon, stay with me, guys, because this story is actually deeper than people realize. It's a really fun story, you guys, I promise. So the true origin story is it all started back in 1971 at a school called San Rafael High School, and that's in California, in San Rafael, California. There were 5 students, just regular teenagers, you guys, who called themselves the Waldos. And I think that name was probably popular back then because remember Finding Waldo? Remember that post? I don't know. In America, they used to have this thing, and it would have all these pictures of just thousands and thousands of things, and you'd have to find this guy called Waldo, and he was always wearing a striped shirt. So I don't know if that's
Where's Waldo? Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So, anyways, they were called the Waldos. They weren't trying to start a movement. They weren't. They weren't trying to change the world. They weren't doing that. They just wanted to find a hidden cannabis grow, and they were looking for a hidden rumored cannabis grow that was somewhere around their neighborhood. So what they did was they created a code called 420 Lewis. And the 420 equals the time that they would meet after school, after their activities ended, after, all this stuff they do with school and sports and stuff. They would they had a code, and it was called 420 Lewis. And that reference to the statue of Louis Pasteur, who I'm not too sure who that was, but it was on their campus. It was like their mascot. Okay. So that's where 420 Lewis came from. So every day they'd meet at 4:20 p.m. and go searching all over the different areas looking for this so-called cannabis grow.
Mm-hmm.
They never found it.
Someone was growing cannabis and they were looking for it.
They're looking for, there was a rumor that there was a huge cannabis grow around their neighborhood. So every day at 4:20, that was code for them to meet up after school and go look for this cannabis grow. And they never did. They never found it. It probably never even really existed.
Someone smoked it all.
Well, they're teenagers. Think about it. They're kids.
Yeah.
And but what they did create was a code that would eventually go global.
Yeah, which is 420.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how it spread was how this random high school code turned into an international holiday is they had ties to the band called the Grateful Dead.
Okay.
Ever heard of that group?
Yes, I've heard of that group.
And if you know anything about their fan base, the Deadheads, you already know, this is what my research says, they were a traveling culture. They spread ideas, language, and energy everywhere they went. So 420 started moving from friend to friend, from concert to communities, from California to the entire U.S. That became the major turning point and went out to the world. And then it went to High Times. Have you ever heard of High Times? High Times magazine. High Times magazine. Okay, back in the day when I was young, if I wanted anything to do with cannabis, you'd go to High Times.
Okay.
That's where I learned about zigzag, how to roll,
Mm-hmm.
what a rolling machine was. It
Mm.
was High Time magazines. I think back in my generation, magazines was where we got a lot of our.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Magazines was everything back in those days, wasn't it?
Yes, it was everything. Magazines were everything. I had a subscription to so much stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
my ex-husband was working in magazines when I first met him, and they were like so cool.
they were a
Like if
big
you
thing.
read magazines.
They were communication. They were a way of communication owned by the
Mhm.
Hertz family, by the way, most of them. Anyways, so in the 1990s, High Time magazine, which was a very popular magazine in the United States, had published a flyer explaining 420.
Mm.
That was it. Once media got involved, it exploded. Now, this is something that I wanted to add is that this is my understanding. When they want something out there and they want to make something popular and they want to do a culture change or they want to scare and put fear in us, they distribute it out to 8 different platforms, eight
Mhm.
different types of platforms. And at those 8 different platforms, they spread it out and they announce it. And that's how things get out and get popular or become fads or fear basis or whatever it is. And they still use that rhythm, I think, today, or that method, I should say. I think they still use that today. It's probably more
Mhm.
than 8 platforms now.
Mm. It'd be a
Uh,
lot.
yeah, yeah.
But
Now,
nowadays there's so many platforms. So there's so
mhm,
many things coming out.
mhm,
Like before it was so much more. You can see the matrix is out of control now. Whereas
mhm,
before, when they started creating this matrix and stuff, and they had this kind of, they really could control us, like because there was so many less platforms to put these things out, and they, the ones that were existent were just like owned and controlled by these people. And if that's what these platforms were telling you, that's all you heard. Whereas nowadays you've got like social media is just like everything.
mhm,
Everything is out there. Anyone can put their opinion or their say. So you've got like that agenda coming at you, but then you've got all these like other things saying, oh, but that's wrong. So poor humans. Like, no wonder why we're such a mess now.
and that's why whenever they want to cause fear or do something, to harm us, like you said, there's so many platforms. They probably do like they have 8 influencers from Facebook to put it on their platform, and then 8 influencers from the media. You know what I mean? Different areas, yeah. So that's how things get spread. That's what they do. But I know back in the day, they only had to give it to 8 different types of
I
yeah,
mean, there was so
and then
much less.
it went out like wildfire. Now,
Yeah.
I wanted to clear up some of the lies. I guess there's a lot of misinformation about 420. I've never heard of this stuff. Maybe some of you guys have, but it's not a police code. I guess I used to say it's a police code, but no, it's not a police code. It's not tied to government systems at all. It's not. It has nothing to do with Hitler. They say it has something, but no, Hitler has nothing to do with 420.
Did Hitler smoke pot? Do we know anything about
And
that?
he smoked crack, wasn't it?
Did he? No, wasn't he like into cocaine or something? Like he,
Methamphetamines, they say. Those stories were created later, I guess, later on. So I've never really heard about them. But when I was doing my research on 420, that this is what this stuff showed up. I'm not going to elaborate on it because I didn't really care, but I just thought I'd put those out there for the people who do know about those myths. But the truth is just simple, you guys. It's more powerful. It came from people. It spread through culture,
mm-hmm,
and it grew because people resonated with it.
mm-hmm.
People have always wanted their cannabis. Those are our cannabis is our born given rights. All of these plants and mushrooms are our born given rights. Born given rights, and I say that all the time, you guys. Um, Now, this is where I want you to really listen in on, because this is what I always say, you guys. And I say this, and I'm going to repeat myself. I said at the beginning, what happens in America ends up happening everywhere. 420 is the perfect example. Which started as 5 teenagers in one high school in California is now celebrated in Canada, Europe, South America, Australia, and parts of Asia. People all over the world now recognize 420 as a cannabis culture day. Bravo! Yay! Finally. It wasn't always like that, you guys. Cannabis has been stigmatized. It has been demonized. It has. They did a good job, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit here on this live about what we're trying to bring it out of, because it's still stigmatized.
It
It's
is.
it is.
It's demonized.
They did a
It's
good
so
job.
demonized. Yeah.
The way that what they did, what prohibition was based around, they fear. This is just another example of how they fear factored us. I'm telling you, this is a really good live. 420 tells it all, and it tells on them totally. Okay, so this didn't happen randomly. It's just how ideas move through our planet, you guys, whether people realize it or not. America is one of the biggest exports of cultures in the world. We export culture in the world. That is what Americans do. So that should say something to people. If we're that we influence the world like that, then we need to do better. If Americans would wake up and stop complying, the rest of the world probably would do it too.
Mm. I don't know. I've lost hope for the Americans. Even like influencers to the world, I feel like that's kind of past too, because like everyone's kind of gone, oh, I don't know about the Americans anymore. They used to be just the big bullies of the world, and everything they did was so cool, and everybody wanted to be them, and everybody wanted to be like the Americans, and
we still influence. What happens in America happens everywhere. That is just who we are. We're supposedly Babylon. And you know, we're going to bring this whole topic into something deeper. I know that's kind of what my plan was here today, because this just isn't about cannabis, you guys. This has to do with awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It's about awareness. Yeah. Understanding where things come from and how they spread. And why people follow them. We were just talking about this, Anne, before we went live. Why do people follow what they follow?
Why?
Do what they do, right?
Why?
Why?
Why? It's all I can say is why. What's wrong with us?
Yep. And 420 is a perfect example of all of this.
Yeah, it's true, but we get told this is bad, or this is not, this is good, and we just believe. We don't have critical thought. Like, I am really struggling as a human being in understanding how other human beings don't have critical thought. Like, they don't question, they don't think. Like, someone's telling them, oh, this is what you feel, this about this, this is how you feel happy because of this situation, and this is making you feel bad, and humans just go yes. And especially when they put God into it. So like, if you say God is speaking through me and God is telling me that you should do this, humans are so quick to just go, okay, yes, it's God. Okay, God. Okay, I'll do it because God is telling you. And they don't ever sit back and go, who, what? Who's God? I didn't hear it. You heard it, but I didn't hear it. So I need to make sure that it's like the right for me. Like, they just, God said it, and God said it through this human. God didn't say it to you, but God said it to them. So you're doing it now. And there's no critical thought. There's no just questioning for 1 second. Is this really God? And who is God? And what God are we talking about? Like, what we just take it on and we just do as we're told, and we believe that we're happy or that we're sad or what, because this person's telling us, because God told them. And it's blows my mind. I need someone to explain it to me, and how that happens, and how this happens to us as human beings. So, I guess pot is the same thing. Like, I think that's
420.
yeah, I think that's probably why they didn't want us to smoke, like have pot, because pot does make you think more. It does something about it. Most people will say they become paranoid, but I don't become paranoid. But for sure, it makes you think. It makes you have different thoughts. It kind of like takes you off that one train of thought and gives you like, hey, but what about that? So, yeah.
Cannabis to me, if it makes you panic and you get a panic attack, no matter what strain you smoke, to me, that's because all of their fears, all of their anxiety, everything just hits them all at once. And they, I can't breathe. I can't do this. They just can't handle it. Now, for people like me, who I have always been drawn to cannabis. Excuse me, guys. I know. I just can't talk when we do the live so late. But anyways, I only did 2 consultations today. Each one of them are like 2.5 hours long before our live. So yeah, I feel like I've been talking for like the past 7 hours straight. But anyway, okay. But cannabis for me has always opened up my channels. They've always opened me up more. So I feel that I'm more connected. And it makes me want to question everything. You were just saying that. And that's the problem with people. They don't question everything. And it's just kind of like, I'm going to go back to the 420. Because of 420, it went from secret code to a global celebration. Think about that, okay? Then ask yourself, what else is being created? What else is being spread?
But that's what
And what are people participating in without even knowing the origin of it? This is why I always say, be aware, be conscious, question everything. We've got people just out there celebrating 420. They don't even know where it came from. They have no clue that it came from a group of 5 guys called the Waldos.
Yeah, they're just enjoying the pot.
You know what I mean? What else? And this is how the darkness gets us. This is how the darkness gets our permissions to do what they do to us, because we give them the permission, because we don't question it.
Because we don't question it. We just go along with it.
Nope. Now, they don't even know what they're aligning with. They're just doing it because everyone else is doing it. They have no idea what they're aligning with. And again, when you're aligning with something that is of the darkness, they are loosening your energy, your essence, your ethereum, all your energy. Again, Ann and I said earlier, it's all about energy, and it truly is.
Mm-hmm.
And because of energy, these ideas and these cultures travel.
Yep. Well, they can pretty much put out any narrative and put them on whatever platforms and control that narrative. More so back when we were younger. That, like the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, I guess the 60s and 70s is when they really started to start with this kind of like controlling the narrative for the whole world. They came out with Vietnam. And that's when we had all that hippie movement, and people were like, wait, we don't like what the system is. America came on really strong, and the hippies all stood up and were like, no, we don't want this. This is not what we're about. But then it kind of died down, and they just took over. They took over our matrix. They took over our world. They controlled the narrative for everything. The 80s, the 90s, whatever music that they wanted out there, whatever celebrity they wanted out there, whatever narrative that they wanted on the platform for the whole world, they controlled it. And we were just like puppet. We were just, we were just the little, energy people that whatever energy that they got and they were looshing off of us because that's what we bought into. But we couldn't really think for ourselves because there was a narrative being told
Well,
to
there's
us.
an influence. They influence us.
Very strong
They
influence.
influence us for the cigarettes, to smoke, to drink, to
All
eat
of it.
bad food.
To have be promiscuous. Like that whole narrative in
Mhm.
our matrix is a narrative. That is
Mhm.
not what we're supposed to be like. That is
It's not a
not
natural. No,
it's
they
not good
take
for the human being.
no.
It is very unhealthy for the human being, especially for females. But it's bad for your energy, it's bad for your health, and that whole narrative was created by them. All of it was created by them. And you go through your life just doing these things because of the influence that you are being shown and taught. And yeah, who are you as a human? Like what was good for you as a human? Not all the things you were being told to do, but it was very
It's all
controlled.
influencing, and they couldn't come to us and say, "Hey, can we lose your energy? Hey, can we have your essence?" We wouldn't give them permission like that. So they
No.
influence us, and then we buy in. We buy into their downlines or uplines or whatever it is that their bloodlines produce.
Yeah.
And once we do that, we've now given them permission to have our essence, to have our energy. And it's as easy as just buying that bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
It is. And because whenever you purchase something from the material world, not only are you purchasing, especially if it's food or if it's perfume or if it's lotion, if it's a material thing, or even a car, even if you buy a Ford, now you're in the Ford downline. Now you are giving them your energy.
Yeah.
And that each time you make that payment, they're getting your essence.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Sometimes
your avatar has taken on that car and it's now part of your avatar. Like,
yes.
yeah. So
Yes, exactly. That's how it works. And you are giving them permission.
Yeah.
Through influence, because on this planet, it's not so easy to get to work because not everybody wants to walk 17 miles to work. You know what I mean? They're just not going to do that.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they made it where we need this stuff when we really don't. We actually I think that we can create better stuff, but that's just me. And the reason why I know we can create better stuff is because it has been created, but it's been taken from us. Or if you do create something, they'll come in and they'll take it from you.
Yeah.
First, they'll buy it pennies on the dollar, and then they'll take it from you. And if you don't give it to them, we all know what happened to these people when they don't give it to them.
You're dead.
Yep, you are no longer going to be breathing on this planet. But anyway, so okay, so that's the story of 420, you guys. So that's
So now
the
we know
whole
where it
that's the
comes from.
story, of who started it. And it is celebrated, and is said it is celebrated in Australia where she's at. But now we could talk a little bit about
What are we
prohibition.
celebrating? Are we celebrating pot? Are we celebrating that it's legalized? Like, what are we celebrating? What is 420 day? Like, what are we celebrating? Just the plant? That
Yeah.
it's a plant. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a culture that we made a movement. This is like a good thing. This is a good thing on our side, I believe, what we did. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, about prohibition, you guys, and prohibition was brutal. Prohibition was so much. I mean, I wrote a ton of notes here on it just because I can talk for hours about prohibition. Prohibition, I taught prohibition for several years, like 5 years. I actually taught at a college about prohibition too.
So what's
Yep.
prohibition? That's like when it was illegal, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so now we'll go a little bit deeper because we can talk about cannabis without talking about why it was made illegal. Okay, why it was made illegal in the first place. Why was it made illegal in the first place? Okay, most people were never taught this. Okay, in the early 1900s, cannabis was not widely criminalized in the United States. It was legal in the early 1900s. And prior to that, it was legal in the United States. It was in everyone's cabinet. Every grandmother, every mother had a cannabis tincture in their medicine cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
It was prescribed by doctors. Um, but that started to change during a time of fear and propaganda and racial tension. In 1937, that's when the shift begins. That was when the Mexican immigrants came to the U.S. and after the Mexican Revolution is when they came. They brought a culture practice. They brought their culture practice with them, including the use of cannabis, often they called it marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to make it illegal the way they did, because of a man called Harry Hanslinger. Okay. Yep. Do you know? I've talked about Harry Hanslinger. Do you? Huh?
Harry Hanslinger. What a name.
Yep. Yep. And he was the devil himself. He was a bad, bad, bad man, and he is the one. Instead of understanding it, because the Mexicans brought it, here after the revolution, the Mexican Revolution, instead of understanding it, the system targeted it. And he was part of the system. The media and the fear campaigns that Harry Hanslinger did in 1937. He was the first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. So he was the one who created the DEA. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And under his leadership, cannabis became the focus of intense propaganda. You had media places like Reefer Madness. He had a movie created in Hollywood called Reefer Madness. You ever heard of that?
No.
It's a real movie. Look at it. And what the opening line was, the devil's lettuce from Mexico that makes white women want black men.
I have heard that bit. I've heard that thing. Yeah. I have heard that about this.
Yes, it's true. This is all true. This is what prohibition was based around on cannabis. This is how the stigma started, based on racism, 1000%. And we've got proof.
Nuts.
And they had to do this. They had to take cannabis out of our environment because, see, in 1937, prior to 1937, cannabis grew all over the United States, everywhere. The animals were eating it. We were breathing it in. It was a weed.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since it went into prohibition, which was 1937, and we are now in, how many years is that? That's not even 100 years yet. We've got 10 more years for 100 years, don't we? Let me do the math real quick, you guys. So it's 89 years. I'm right. Okay, so 11 years. Okay, I was off by 1 year. 11 years from now, it'll be 100 years ago that prohibition happened. But ever since they took it out of our environment until now, 89 years later, well, we have it back in our environment, sort of, kind of, because almost, I think we got like 33 states or 30 states in America that have some kind of a medical marijuana program or a recreational program for it. But look at all the autoimmune diseases we have. We have so many autoimmune diseases. We didn't have all this prior to 1937. I don't even know if there was even autoimmune diseases were even
I don't think they were existent. No,
Yeah.
It's a new thing. Autoimmune diseases are more of a modern day kind of issue that seems to be arising more in nowadays.
And
They
I think
say
it's like,
it's more from the toxins and stuff.
yes, it's your environment. Autoimmune diseases first is from your environment. Okay, so they took out the cannabis, and just look at how we have declined in health since they've done that. That's just my perspective. That's a thing that I've seen through my studying of cannabis. But
I've never really studied cannabis. I've just always naturally liked to smoke cannabis. It's worked. I'm one of those people where it works well with me. It calms me down. It makes me a bit more like, I don't know, just calmer in life. Just I'm more chilled with pot.
Of course, your body likes it, your body wants it, your body makes it. You have an endocannabinoid system for a reason. It's your largest nervous system that causes homeostasis in the body. Okay. And when it gets depleted, you feel it. Okay. Some need more than other. That's another thing with cannabis. It's dosed, and the delivery systems that you use and the dose that you use by that delivery system differs from person to person.
Yes, I think so. Everyone, like, it affects everyone differently when they
Mhm.
take it. Like, what works for me isn't going to work the same for somebody else.
No,
You know, I wouldn't
it's not.
recommend, oh, go do that with yourself. Like, but it works for me. I'm supposed to be taking, according to doctors, lots of pain medication because I have a bad back, but I don't take any, I don't even take like a Panadol. But I find cannabis seems to help me with like those pain thresholds and just getting through life and not letting, the pain be overwhelming for me. And it works well for that. But yeah.
Because THC is great for pain. THC works so good for pain, and CBD works really, really, really well for inflammation. So the two marry each other very well. For those who have an endocannabinoid system that needs this type of medicine, like I said, everyone is different. Some
Everyone's
people have
different.
a very, very good endocannabinoid system and they don't need it. It
Mhm.
works just fine. I've seen that before. But and because of Harry Hanslinger and because of his propaganda and the things that he did, he pushed the ideas that cannabis caused violence, insanity, criminal behavior. And this is where it gets really good. A lot of those messages was racially charged. There's more proof here.
Gracious.
Targeting Mexican communities. They targeted Mexican communities, associating cannabis with black communities, especially jazz musicians. And if they were caught with cannabis, they were in prison for a long time. That still happens to this
So
day. To this
yeah,
day.
yeah.
And it's proof that it is racially, that's the prohibition was based around racism because of that. I know a guy who got busted with like 6 pounds back in the day, and he got a slap on the wrist, and he was because he had white privilege. And then I know a black kid who got busted with a joint, and it ruined his life. He lost
That's
everything. Went to
that's so
prison for
crazy.
10 years.
Oh my God, over it. That is so insane. It's so crazy that people have ended up with these huge um, jail sentences for like, pot. Like it's pot.
I know, but they framed it to make it look like it's something dangerous.
hmm But that's
And
because of this whole agenda that they did, that they had linked to pot. Like
yeah,
it's terrible. It's
yep.
crazy that they went after a plant like this so viciously. Like they didn't ever went after cocaine like that. Like they really attacked the weed plant. I never knew all
Well,
of
think
this.
about it. Think about it. Why did they do that? Why did they attack that so and cause such a stigma? I mean, the laws that are based on this is all fear based. They're all fear based. They
Mm,
there's a reason.
100% fear based.
It's all 100% fear based. 1,000. I'm telling you, this Harry Hanslinger was an SOB. And he went to other countries and he told other countries, if you don't fall line with this and you don't follow along with this, we won't export things to you no more. He threatened them.
That's
And
nuts.
that's why other countries yeah.
Why was he so scared of pot? Why was he so scared of the cannabis? Like,
There was
of
two things that Harry Hanslinger hated. He hated, I mean, he was an extremist. He hated drug addicts and he hated anyone who was not white. Hated them. There's this singer called Lady Day. She was a black lady. And he saw to it, and she was a jazz singer. And there's a movie made, and Diana Ross plays her, and made a movie about Lady Day. And he destroyed her and destroyed her.
why?
Yeah. She was a jazz singer, and he would tell her would see. I guess back then you had to like have a ticket to be able, if you were black and you wanted to go sing at a jazz pub or something like that, you had to get like a permission and a ticket, and he made sure that no one never gave her a ticket because she probably told him to go yourself.
Yeah.
She probably stood up for herself.
That's crazy.
And
I
the way
understand.
this lady died at the mercy of this man. He saw to it that she was shackled to a bed, to a hospital bed, surrounded by DEA men to make sure she died.
What
Hand-
the hell? Why?
Handcuffed to a bed because she was black and she was a drug addict and she was a drunk.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. These are true stories. These are all people can go do the research. Go look at the movie. It's called Lady Day, and it's Diana Ross who plays it. The movie was filmed, I believe, somewhere in the like maybe in the early 70s. It's true.
That's horrific.
I know it's
Horrific
awful.
things can happen.
And she's the lady who sung a song about leeching in that song is based around her community and black men being hung in her neighborhood. And I guess he told her to stop singing that song. And she said, no, I won't. And so she didn't listen to him. She didn't listen to him at all. And then, yeah. And then I guess I was also had done some research on I think Doris. She was the one who played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I don't remember her real name.
The old one, Judy Garland.
Judy Garland, yes. Yeah, that's the actress, yes. She got sent to his office because she got busted for doing cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And he told her, go take a vacation. You just need a vacation.
That's what I mean. Like, what the hell? They weren't like this about cocaine.
Yeah, but see,
they
he
were
did.
very scared of pot.
Yes, very. And there's a reason for this. He knew that if people smoked cannabis, that we were going to see through the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We would see, and they wouldn't be able to make us as sick as we are. They couldn't create all these new diseases.
I'm pretty sure there's something in the Epstein files too about pot and how they didn't like pot. Like they never legalized it, whereas they legalized alcohol because pot created critical thinking and they didn't want that. So they banned it, like they made it the way it was, whereas they made alcohol legal because alcohol is good for that kind of stuff, like dumbing people down.
Well, did you know that the same time that they put cannabis in prohibition, they took alcohol out of prohibition?
Yes, yeah. So, like I've even the Epstein files mention this type of stuff. And why
oh, really?
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's interesting.
Why they did it. So
that's
they didn't want pot because it created critical thinking, which I agree. It creates, more people should maybe smoke it so they might have some critical thought because critical thought is key in this matrix. You have to have critical thought. If you don't have critical thought, there's a problem. You're gonna just be led down all kinds of paths. You have to be able to think for yourself. Otherwise, you're just what? I guess I have to have some people that are just NPCs and bots to make the matrix, like energy wise. Like most of us have to be not critical thinkers. Otherwise, the matrix wouldn't work because they have to have everyone just do as they're told. Put your kids in school, go get a job, do your 9 to 5, get married. And you don't want people going, what? Wait, huh?
No, because if we do that, then they can't have our energy. We're no longer now going to buy into their buy-ins, to their lines, and we're not going to support them because without us, they don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then there was they had this when prohibition really kicked in because of the farmers, and they wanted to make the farmers stop growing it and everything like that because they grew it and grew it and grew it because we used it for everything. We used it for rope. We used it for making houses. We used it for so much. It's not just to smoke, and they make clothes.
Clothes, yeah.
Paper. Supposedly the Bible is written on hemp paper. So it can feed us. It can clothe us. It can make a home for us. It can do, there's nothing that it cannot do. Nothing.
Mhm.
It does everything. And that's why they had to get it out of the environment, because it's so easy to produce. Ford, back in 1930, I think it was 38, 39, right, when Prohibition was getting, really ramped up, Ford invented a hemp car. Yeah, I'll show you guys the video.
They don't like things that they can't make a lot of money off of.
This video is only literally, it's like 8 seconds long. Oh, it's 39 seconds long.
If you've noticed your face is kind of falling or drooping, especially in the lower part through.
Oh, wait, what happened to it? Oh, there it is. Can you guys see that? Okay, there we go.
Can't really read them.
Amongst the thousands of products made from hemp, one of the most extraordinary is Henry Ford's plastic car. Built in 1941, it contained cellulose fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw. The plastic was lighter than steel, yet could withstand 10 times the impact without denting.
Yeah, but see, they don't like things that they can't make money off of, Claudine. Even look at Edison and Tesla. Like, they both came out around the same time with electricity. Tesla came out with electricity that was much more sustainable, but wasn't going to cost a lot for humans. And Edison came out with electricity that they could profit from. So what did they do? They let Edison become the founder of electricity, and they arrested Tesla, and they took all his findings and all his stuff, and they just got rid of him and shut him up. And, and Edison went on to be the electricity we have, but that generated money. But
Right.
Tesla didn't generate money. And that's how our matrix is we've had inventors and we've had these things come out. But if the powers that be see that this is going to be a means to people not having to spend as much money, and these things are going to last longer and be more we got to get rid of that. We need things that are going to be, generate money for us that are not.
They need things that are going to generate money for them, so that we get more and more into their downline.
Yeah.
So we get more trapped and in their system, in the system. Okay. Because I do believe
on them.
Yep. So we have to rely on them. And that was a whole idea of what they did, because God forbid if we thought about think for ourselves, and if we would go and stop complying to their BS, because I believe that the human race can create anything and everything even better than what we have right now for free. Mm-hmm. Look at what Henry Ford did. Okay. And that car also ran off of hemp oil too.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the prohibition. Yep. This is just everything that we talk about. I really like this topic. I told you, this is going to be fun. So they implemented this thing called the Marijuana Tax Act in 1937. And that was to get the farmers from stop growing it. If they grew it, they got taxed like a lot of money. And so that got them to stop growing it. They did end up having to suspend that because of the war. And then they had to go back to growing it because we needed weapons and we needed rope. But anyways, we're not going to get too much into that. But but they made it so restricted and taxed that it effectively criminalized it. And that's how prohibition started, right? From there. And it's not from science, you guys. Prohibition isn't based on science. It's not based from health data, but from fear, from control, and from misinformation. And that is how prohibition on cannabis was formed, and it started. And it's so much deeper than that too. It was literally for control. Even decades later, you guys, during the war on drugs, enforcement has has disproportionately affected communities of color, all for the sake of a plant.
It's insane. It's insane that a
Very
little plant
different. Yep,
has
very
created this
different
much.
consequences depending on who you are and where you lived.
Mhm. Interesting.
Yep. So this brings us right back to what I always say: what happens in America spreads.
Yeah, it doesn't stay in America. It spreads like wildfire.
And the prohibition mindset did spread globally. The
Mhm.
racism, the stigma
Sure.
is everywhere. You even have it in Australia. So you've
Yeah.
said.
Oh, for sure. 100%. As far as racism goes, racism is everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. But this literally was a, a medicine that was taken and based on racism, and it had nothing to do with science or health. It was all based on misinformation, and that is our government, and that is who our government is today. Nothing
Mhm.
has changed.
Mhm.
Nothing. Their
Mm.
plays are still the same. They have the same plays and the same playbook. It just doesn't change.
Yeah, they definitely tied that whole like pot thing to like black gangsters. Like that definitely was like the stereotype for like, you know, for pot is just all the black gangsters are there smoking it in their drug dens. Like I definitely see that. You don't see like a bunch of white men sitting around smoking pot, do you? It's like a bunch of black men sitting around smoking pot, and they're all like big bad gangsters.
Well,
So,
that comes from the jazz era because they did smoke a lot of weed. The jazz people
mhm.
did. Hello, Daniel. How are you? Remember Daniel?
Hello. I think so. Yes,
Um,
maybe. Yeah, but that's what
so
they do. They do stereotypes. They
they do.
they they create stereotypes in the world, and they link things to it, and for sure.
Yeah.
And pot was one of those things that they kind of stereotyped. Like I know even for myself, I don't go around telling everyone I smoke pot because everyone has this very like stereotypical idea of if you're a pot smoker, this is what you're gonna be like, and it's not really how it is. But
No, it's not. It's not.
yeah,
Um,
it is just a plant that we all have different relationships with, and it is up to each person whether they want to explore that relationship, how it works for them. Like, does it work for my body? Does it work for my pain? Problem in my body, like whatever it works for you. But it's not like it can't just be like this plant, this demon plant that's just bad. Like the way they did it, it's just it blows my mind that this
and they
sweet
got
little
away with it. And they got away with it for all this time. They got away with it. And, it's still regulated. It's federally, it's still, they say that we moved it to a Schedule 3, but no, we haven't. That's not true. We haven't. Um,
I wish it was just like
oh, congratulations. So
let go
he
of it.
is 42 days clean. Very cool. Good job. Bravo. Um, but the
What?
normalization of it, this was my dream, and this was my promise to myself when I started uh, becoming an advocate for it and for getting grow rights and stuff like that. I always said that one day this is going to be normalized. One day it's going to be so normal. You're going to go into a store and it's going to be there just like ketchup.
I want to where you can just light up and you don't get all these like you can just be at the beach and just light up a joint, like people light up cigarettes and smoke it, and not have everyone stare at you like you know, like you're a drug addict or like you're a criminal or something. That's what I just want that. Like you go and have a sit down at the pub and while you're waiting for your food, be able to just light up a joint and have a joint before you have your food. Like why can't I do that?
Just like they do a glass of wine or a beer, right? It's,
Yeah, like I
yeah,
don't drink.
yeah,
I just want to smoke
yeah.
my
I
joint.
don't drink either. Yeah, I've always smoked weed my whole life, but that's always been my dream to normalize it for my grandchildren and for my future grandchildren. That to normalize it, globally, just like we
That
did
would-
420. I mean, we're doing it. We're doing it. We are getting our born given rights back. 420 is a great example of what we can do. So when we talk about cannabis today, we're not just talking about a plant, you guys. We're talking about history, culture, control, and awakening to the truth behind it all. That's just what I'm trying to bring you guys, is truth. And and yes, it's my truth, but it is the truth of the history of this plant.
Mhm.
And it's a very fascinating topic. It really is. I'm really grateful for 420 and for where we're at today with the plant. Gosh, you guys, my whole life I feel like, well, especially, well, at least the last 12 years, I've been fighting like crazy for this plant. And I just want to make it normal, normalize it, and stop the stigma. Stop the stigma. Yeah.
Amen.
I'm a doser. I'm an extractor. I'm a grower. I do everything with this plant. And I have seen how it has helped people and changed their lives. But again, like Anne said a little while ago, it's based on your relationship with it. If you abuse it and you use it too much and you're just using it to use it, and you don't even know why you're using it, it's not a good relationship. So you want to
No.
have a good relationship. It is a living thing. It has a conscious, it has an essence too.
Mhm.
So
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be abusing it. When people say that it's like it's a gateway drug and stuff like that, it's not so much it's a gateway drug, but people who are like trying to run from things in their life tend to like go find things to mask their problems. And I guess pot is one of those things because it kind of like, can take the edge off and stuff so people can mask. But it's not the drug, it's the pot itself isn't going to open some gateway to you doing a bunch of bad drugs. It's just, if it's a gateway, it's just because there's a bunch of things inside you. So don't be like smoking to mask what's inside you because that might make things worse for like long
exactly.
term. Like, yeah,
Exactly. And Victor, we go
scapegoat.
live at 5:22 every other Tuesday or every other Monday. So we'll go live. Let me see. Let me get my calendar. We will be live again. It'll be in May. I know that. May 4th. On May 4th, we'll go live again, and we will be on time at 5:22. The only reason why we went early today, Victor, was because it's 420, and I was invited to go to a 420 celebration, and I want to go. So
Are you
I'll be
go?
going. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh, my assistant here and a few my cannabis friends, we're going to meet up at the kava bar and
Exciting.
go do some kava and some kratom shots and just go get
Oh
really, really,
God.
really, really 420.
That sounds really exciting. I wish I could be doing that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know. So today is just an exception. We had to go live kind of early so I can join that party tonight. So that's why we went early tonight. Anne didn't even know why we went early. I just asked her, "Can we go early?" It's 420. It's 420. So it's a big deal to me. It is. I mean, to see cannabis where it is today and for it to go globally like this and for it to all start because of 5 guys in high school and for it to be where it is today it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's something to celebrate for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm very grateful to people like you who have done something in trying to help legalize or take that whole stereotype whatever they've done to pot. Like I'm very grateful that people like you have done that because
They demonized it. They demonized it is what they did.
absolutely
Yeah.
demonized it. Like even in Thailand before, like when I was in my 20s, if you got caught buying pot, selling pot, like you were in jail. Like in some countries I know that there was a death penalty, but in Thailand it wasn't quite the death penalty, but it was like you were in jail for a long time. It was really bad. Whereas now you can just like buy it everywhere on the street. You know, it went crazy in Thailand once they legalized it. I think they're trying to like get a bit more where a little bit more stricter on it, where it's like you have to have like licenses and stuff. But when they legalized it, it just combusted in Thailand, and you could just buy it everywhere, anywhere. Anyone could make
They
it.
make
Anyone.
money. They're making a lot of money off of it, and I know this for a fact because in my town where I live, the police officers all drive really nice SUVs. And that was part of the initiative that I didn't like. I did not like that the police station or the police period were getting a huge chunk of the money that was being made off of cannabis. Because I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Those SOBs are the ones who arrest us, and we're going to give them money? Oh, hell no. I was so pissed, but that's how it went down. It went down that way. The initiative passed, and yes, they get a lot of our money, not the schools, but the police officers, and they all drive real nice cars now.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not good at all. It's not.
I don't really understand. I never got into the whole politics of pot or anything. I just smoke it and try. And I like now how, like in the past when I used to smoke it, I used to feel like I had to hide it a lot more. Like, don't let your neighbors know you smoke pot. Whereas now, because it's a lot more like not as strict, and it has become slightly legalized here, I can smoke it on my back. Like, I don't care if you can smell my pot. If I'm smoking my own house, like, I'm allowed to smoke it. So I'm very happy that that is the case now. And it's not like I'm going to hide it. Got to go smoke in my exhaust fan. So that, no, like, I don't like that. It's so dumb. Like,
I know oh man, I went through a lot of bullshit in my life because I've been smoking weed since I was like probably 11 years old. So I grew up with it. I grew up with sheets.
Yeah, I didn't.
With cannabis being dried out throughout the house. We had plants. I used to go help them cut the plants and trim. And I can go on and on about stories about how I grew up with it knowing that the white man says no, the white man says no. You better be careful. My stepdad was a security guard for Nixon, one of our presidents. So he knew how to do this, and he did a good job. He never got caught. We never got in trouble. He was very much on the down low with it. But
it's just like
I had access to it. Yeah, I always had access to it, and I liked it. Why do people like cannabis? What's the number one reason why people like cannabis? Because it makes them feel good.
So happy. I love it. It's like my best friend. Like, I don't need to go out. Like, I'm not a very social person, and I'm not a like social smoker. I like to just be alone, listen to my music, and I love to smoke pot. I'm very happy in my own space. If I have, like, especially when I have pot, like, I'm content. It's like I said, it's my best friend. I like to know I have my pot. I don't need a human friend, but I like to make sure I have pot.
Yeah, I get that.
Me.
Another thing about this plant is so amazing, you guys. It's just so wonderful that if you were to take a seed and you pop it in your mouth and you plant that seed, that plant will now grow the terpenes and the cannabinoids that you need to heal your body.
See, that is so amazing.
Mm-hmm. She's a beautiful plant. She is complex. She's not meant to be understood. I mean, good luck, science. Good, study it, which I think is a good idea, which I kind of like the idea of kind of going deeper with the cannabinoids, because it's not just about THC. And you know how much I enjoy CBN and CBD. You know, I talk about CBD a lot, and CBN and CBG, THCA, and all those cannabinoids are very important, especially if someone has Alzheimer's or dementia. They need all those cannabinoids together. So it's not just about THC. You don't have to be high on it. You don't. But if you want to be, you have that option.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. But it's not. It's not just always about being high. It's also like the pain benefits, the calming benefits. Like there's just the healing benefits. Like it's healing
Mm-hmm.
just the
It
plant
makes you
itself.
feel good.
Mhm. Gives you good sleeps. Like, yeah, there's just so many things. I just cannot believe it has been demonized. Just this sweet little green plant. Like it's such a cute little plant with its cute little leaves. And somehow it's become like so demonized in society. You've had these big bad men that come and like just hate this plant. It's like, what the plant do to you?
And it's not even a drug. It's to me, it's not a drug. What a drug is a pharmakia. Pharmakia. Those are drugs. Pharmakia.
A drug is a chemical for me. Like it's when people get it and then they like cocaine comes from a cocoa leaf, but it has been broken down. It has chemicals mixed in it. Like by the time we take it, it's a full chemical into the body. But pot is not a chemical. It is natural. It is growing from the ground. How can that be like that? To me, that's not a drug. That's
Well,
like,
it's just like the poppy. You've got the poppy that
yeah,
that
for
is also
yeah.
a plant. Opium. And but I believe that like cocaine. It is a plant. It's a beautiful plant, by the way. I have a picture of it hanging up in my facility.
But by the time we take it, it's not the plant anymore.
And there's a purpose for it. There's a purpose for it. We just don't use it for the purpose that we need it. And we don't know how because it's been put on us to get addictive, to be addicted, to ruin your life. Because that's what our government's about. That's, they want us addicted. They want us paralyzed into their way of thinking. Because if we are critical thinkers and we think for ourselves and we're healthy, they can't make money off of us.
Mhm.
They can't, especially if you don't play in the system.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do to a certain degree. They've made it completely almost impossible to live on this planet and not be in their system, unless you want to go live in a yurt in the mountains somewhere and, live off of berries and leaves.
Mhm.
You could. Yeah.
Harder. Some people have figured out how to do it, and I'm very jealous of them. But yeah, be nice to get to that
Snake
level.
plants. That's
Snake-
the mother-in-law tongue, isn't it? Isn't that what a snake plant is?
Yeah, snake
Mother-in-law.
plants.
Yeah, the
Where's
mother-in-law.
their who has a snake plant?
I
have a
think he grows them. I think
Oh.
Victor grows them. Yeah, he's into snake plants. I've got many of them. They're because they purify the air. I have like 4 in my store. I've got 2 in my room.
Yeah,
my
I have 2 in my room. I put them next to where my head is in the bed. So
Yeah, they do purify the air really good.
mm.
But yeah, you guys chime in on here. I know a lot of people. Yeah, I don't think cannabis is legal in Sweden yet. I don't think they're allowed to have it. So, do you guys celebrate 420 out there, Victor? That's what we're talking about today. Is 420. Let's see what he says.
Not legal in Sweden. That's sad. I feel like it just should be legalized all over the world. Just leave it alone. Just just let it be a plant. Like basil. Like, are you gonna legalize basil? Like, just let it be a plant. let it be used how it's meant to. Let it be harvested. Let it grow if people want to grow it. Like, I want to just be able to grow them on my balcony and not be reported for growing a few plants. But that's my opinion. I just think it's a plant. Let us have our plants. They take
Yeah, it
too
is.
much.
There are born given rights. There are born given rights, and 7 is not too many. 7's good. That's purifying your area. If you can propagate them and get them to be all over the place, that's great, Victor. That's a really good.
You've got nice clean air.
Okay, so he said nope, they don't do 420 out there. So
If it's not legalized.
yeah,
it
I bet
won't
you
be.
people celebrate it. He probably just doesn't go to the pubs. Because I know that they're doing it in Scotland. Scotland is my daughter went to Scotland so she can go celebrate 420. She took off
God bless her.
She took off last Thursday. She's like, peace out. I'm going to Scotland for 420.
God bless her.
I know, she's funny. But well, you guys, thanks for joining us, and we will be back on May 4th. Isn't that like May the 4th be
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah. Star Wars. That's what I thought. So you said May 4th. I'm like, that's definitely for us. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, this is great. 420 landed on our live, and now May 4th. This is fun. This is getting fun. So
these are meant to happen. The spirit world has messages.
okay. All right. What did he say? Elite are big here. It's like mini North Korea. Okay. Yeah. No, well, there's something there that they want. Yeah. There's something that you've got there. You've got something there, I believe, that helps them with their black magic that they're losing.
Europe. It's Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
State has controlled everything here. Yeah, they control it, and they're allowed to because you guys give them the permission. So I'm going to go back to that permission thing. We got to be critical thinkers. We got to start pushing back here. And then it said, Victor said the 22nd is Earth Day. Wait, no way. Our live doesn't. That's mine and Anne's number, the 22.
That's my number.
That's my number.
Tomorrow's birthday.
No, the 22nd is on Earth Day is the 22nd, but isn't Earth Day
22nd what? This month?
Oh yeah, of April. Yeah, Earth Day's in April. Yeah. No.
So tomorrow.
Help us out here, Victor. Is Earth Day tomorrow? Oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah. No, well, for you, it's the 22nd. Tomorrow's the 21st for us.
We're the 22nd tomorrow.
So it's Earth. Do you guys do Earth Day out there?
Is not that I know of, but I'm sure people who are into Mother Earth and stuff. Yeah, Wednesday, 22nd of April. Like I know Tim, he would be someone who celebrates Earth Day because he's very much about Mother. Yeah, I get accused when I go on about like Mother and stuff, like especially from Christians. I get told that I'm pagan when I celebrate Mother stuff. It's so bizarre. Like I said to there's one of those real fanatic people who try to find Satan in everything. I said he doesn't so birthdays are meant to be like the most satanic ritual a human can do. Like we're not supposed to celebrate our birthdays because it's it's not of God. But so whenever people say happy birthday, he has that response. So Tim always says happy Earth Day to me for my birthday. So I said that to this guy. I'm like, I knew you were going to say it's satanic. So happy Earth Day. And 2 weeks later, he comes back with some thing that he's found and how to celebrate Earth, how it's this pagan practice. I'm like, holy shit. Well, what are we supposed to do? Do we celebrate when we were born or do we curse it? We got to do something. We're in a human body. We are Mother Earth. We got to, do we celebrate the day we're born or do we curse the day we're born? We got to do something about our birthday, don't we? But yeah, whenever I say anything to do with Earth or celebrating Earth, that's what I get told is I'm pagan because we're not supposed to celebrate Mother.
Well, whatever. That's my first mother. That's my mother. That's my real mother. So call me pagan, call me whatever you want. But I know that this human comes from this planet, this Earth. My human is made of more microbiome organisms than it is human cells. So if I want to celebrate her, I'm going to do that because that is my mother behind my mother.
Yes. So. We're in a human body. We live on planet. Why have we been cut from our first creator, which is Mother Nature? We have to give thanks to Mother. We have to, like that. We are mother. We are in a human body. We have to give thanks for this human body that we have been given to have this experience in. And we should take care of the human body so that when we
That's
give
our
it
job.
back,
That is your
it's in
first
the
job.
best condition possible. Like,
That is
what?
your, yeah, I know. Just don't listen to those people. They don't know what they're talking about.
It's
Uh,
insanity.
so Victor, I know Victor, Ann and I were just talking about this about probably 2 weeks ago. Claudine, we need to plan the autism stuff soon. I know I spoke to Victor about it. Okay, so what's going to have to happen, guys? I think we've got both Victor and Victor on here. You guys, we're going to have to just do it at our time, you guys, when we go live on a Tuesday at 5:22. We could be a little flexible with the time, a couple hours before or maybe a couple hours after, but I am just too busy, you guys. I'm very busy now.
Yeah.
That's why I've had to cut down on these lives. Ann and I, that's why we're only coming on 1 hour every other week. And I'm not doing my lives with Julie right now because I'm just really that busy. And I just don't have the time. And I have to be careful where I put my energy because I got to make sure that I'm in complete good health and that I am able to hold myself up the way I need to for my clients that come in for help, you guys. And not only that, but I'm also getting a lot of healing done myself right now. I'm getting up once a week to almost twice a week at 5 in the morning so I can get my fascial release done. And to me, that has been most important. So I had to cut back on these lives because of that. And like I said, because I got really busy. So anyways, if you guys want to do that live, we'll have to work something out on one of our normal lives. Ann and I do. Yeah, when we do it.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
I think that is best.
yeah, Ann's really busy too.
I'm happy for people to come on when we're on and have them talk. And
Yes.
I'll be in the background. But yeah, do it at the time that we're on. I'm fine with that. I can't allocate any other time because I have people all around me, like the people in and out of my house. Yeah. I can't really like do different times and I'm just working all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, divine timing, exactly.
Yeah, but whenever you guys want to come on our live, just let us know, and I'll send you an invite, and you guys can come on, even if it's for just a half an hour. Come on for a half an hour. We don't care.
I love to
That'll
hear
do.
about autism.
Yeah, we would love to do it. So if you guys want to do it on May 4th, when the force be with you.
That's what I was thinking. May 4th. Perfect.
Fun. That'd be fun, you guys.
Star Wars. Dress up as Star Wars characters.
Right? Yeah, Princess Leia with the rolls on her head.
Yeah, my brother, my son, he loves Star Wars.
I'll be Yoda.
Nice,
Little green alien. Okay, you guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I got to get going. I did go a little bit over. I got to meet my friend in an hour. So, everyone, if you're interested in what I do and where I'm at, here is my QR code. There's a QR code right there. I don't know if I can move this up. No, I can't. And that's my location where I'm at. I'm in Arizona, Glendale. And there's my phone number, 623-225-7200. And here's Ann's information. And if you want to find Ann, you just message her on Facebook. And this is her QR code. Yep, that's her QR code straight to her Facebook page. Just do a friend request. And she'd be more than happy to help you in any way that she needs to or whatever you guys are seeking.
Yes.
She's probably a lot better than I am getting back to you on Facebook. I've just, like I said, I just been really busy. So if you want to get a hold of me, you literally have to text me on my phone or call my facility. All right, you guys, everyone have a merry, happy everything. And enjoy your 420 today. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have fun, Claudine.
Will.